What's up, guys? It's Kara here, and I just wanted to take advantage of having a little bit of time this morning to answer some of the questions you guys send me to my email address. I'd first like to say I know a lot of you have emailed me with help questions like help me, and I don't always get a chance to get back to you over email for a couple of reasons. For those of you that don't realize, I do work full-time. I commute a lot. I'm in prep. I coach other people, so all those things kind of take priority, and unfortunately I don't always have the time to answer your questions quickly. So I want to start doing more of these videos to help answer your questions, so look to the videos for your answers if you don't necessarily get a reply. So I'm just going to go through and answer a few questions I had in my email today. One of the first questions is about intermittent fasting. And this girl's name is Nicole, and she asked about watching my last intermittent fasting video and that she works overnights at a hospital. She has macros already set, but she's trying to cut body fat. She works out in the mornings after she's worked. And she's just wondering if there's any advice I can give her on how to make intermittent fasting work. And actually, I don't think intermittent fasting is as complex as some people think it is, or at least I don't take it to a complex level. You know, if your work schedule is different than the average person, then you just need to adjust based on that. So really, if you're working nights, overnights in a hospital, I would need to know from you when you typically eat your meals. Do you normally eat all your food for the day while you're at work, or do you normally not eat at work and you eat after work? Totally up to you what will work best for you. I think you can make it work regardless of what times you work out during the day. So just think about what window you're going to best be able to fit in all your meals, because it can be time consuming to do it at work, especially if you're working at a hospital. You're on your feet moving all day. You may be not able to fit in all your macros within a window, but you just need to pick your window and stick with it. So whether it's a 6-hour window, an 8-hour window, whatever you think most benefits you, choose it and start there and see how it works with your lifestyle and see if you're getting any benefits from it. There's nothing set in stone saying you have to do it from this time to this time. Just play around with it and pick a time that works best for your schedule and do it for a week and then tweak it from there. So that's probably the best advice I can give you. Let me get another question. So this question is about training. I'm interested in possibly doing a bikini competition, but I have about 20 pounds to lose. Not an uncommon amount of weight to lose going into a competition, actually. I would like to start weight training, but like most girls, I'm worried about not leaning down and gaining more weight from the weight training rather than losing weight and leaning down. Do you have any ideas on what type of training plan I should use to lean down, lose fat, gain muscle, and overall body strength before I enter a competition? Absolutely. What you need is a combination of both. You have a common misconception there that lifting weights is going to make you gain weight. It's going to change your body composition, and I don't know what you currently look like, so it's hard for me to assess, but regardless, most people who want to enter in the competition world, that bodybuilding world, one of the main things they're going to look at is muscle mass and symmetry. And so you need to be lifting weights for that reason. And the other thing is lifting weights is going to actually help you with the leaning down process. The more muscle you have, the more calories your body is going to require. Muscle is way more metabolic than fat tissue. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more your body is going to require. It's going to help send your metabolism up a bit, and then you can eat more to lean out. So I think what you want to do is have a combination of both. I would highly recommend you start a weight training program as soon as possible. If you're someone that's never lifted before, you're probably going to see great changes with adding that into your routine. But you still want to have in there your cardio plan. You want to start slowly. My personal preference when I coach people is to start it out as low as possible. Get the lifting in there, start the cardio as low as possible, and that way you can build up. You don't want to start with all the cardio because then you have nowhere to go. So start slow with the cardio, focus on your weight training. And with weight training too, another great tip if you want to kind of maximize your time and your caloric burn, you could also, in between weightlifting sets, you could throw in some plyometric exercises. And that can just help keep your heart rate up and really, get in little bits of cardio. A lot of people do that for more of like a circuit training type approach to maximize your time. So those are probably the best tips I could give you. So don't leave anything out. You want a nice combination of everything. Oh, she has the same name as me, spelled the same way. Love her already. Okay, next email I have has a few questions in it. The first one says, do you have tips for eating well when eating out with family? My family loves to eat out a lot and drink a lot. It can be hard to turn down a glass of margarita when they order a pitcher. I totally understand that. My family loves a good margarita as well. Babs, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it can be difficult, but you're going to be put in that situation with the peer pressure, and it does get especially touchy with family. I feel that myself as well, even when I'm in competition prep. When you're around your family, sometimes they're the hardest people to be around because they don't understand it, and they're your parents and your siblings, and they're like, why aren't you eating normal? Families just want to feed you, right? So it can be, that's probably going to be your most challenging situation. So what you need to do is kind of plan it out ahead of time if you can. If you know you're going out with your family or you're going to have dinner with your family just once in a week, maybe you can fit that into your plan. As a competitor, from a competitor level, for me, that's just off limits right now. I will say I have no problems going out to eat with my family if they came into town, and I would just do my own thing. And sometimes they have more of an issue with it than a competitor can have. But you have to advocate for yourself first and foremost, because no one else is really going to care. People want to feed you. People want to help feed you. So depending on what your goals are, you either have to choose to make it fit into your week and balance your macros accordingly, and say, okay, I'm going to allow myself to have a glass of margarita, and I'm going to order out a meal tonight, but the rest of the week is going to be on point. It's kind of that 90-10 approach, where 90% of the time you're on point and 10% of the time you allow yourself to have some balance and have a life. Or your second option there is to just, two more options. You could choose to not go out at all, which I think is rough. You don't want to eliminate yourself from society or your family just because you've got fitness goals. I really don't. I think you can do it without going to that level. So what I would suggest is, if you feel like it's going to impede on your goals, is to pack some food with you or eat before you go, and just go and enjoy the conversation, and mentally be okay with, I'm choosing not to have any of this tonight, and that's okay by me because that's my choice. No one else needs to make me feel bad about it. I'm choosing not to. It's not that I can't, it's that I'm choosing not to because something else is more priority right now. So you mentally have to kind of get your mind wrapped around that. Otherwise, you will go out to eat and you'll get pissed off, because I've been there before too. Just want to have what everyone else is having. You'll get angry, and it'll put you in that negative mindset. So you really kind of have to get that upstairs dialogue in check and be good with whatever decision you're making before you go out to eat with your family. So the second question, how do you stay motivated through PMS cravings? I swear I just want to eat the entire world during that time. Girl, I'm with you. And I actually did a whole video on PMS cravings. It is very challenging because my motivation is still there during it. It's more so the cravings are strong, and I'm not as strong internally to say you don't need that right now. So you just need to, for me, I guess, I just remind myself of my goals. Being in bikini prep right now, being 3 weeks out, it's like, Kara, you gotta get through it. You're gonna be okay. It's not like you can't ever have chocolate or a chocolate chip cookie ever again in your life. You can. You're just not going to right now. You're doing things right now that are gonna help get you to your goals, and then eventually you can add those things back in. When I'm not in prep though, what I would tell you, if you're someone that's not prepping, you can make those things fit. Plan the week of you know what to make a couple things fit in there and adjust your macros accordingly. I don't believe in restricting restricting your whole life. I feel like I am the exception right now because I am in prep, but many of you follow this channel that aren't in prep, so I don't want you to think that you can't ever enjoy a piece of cake or a cookie or a chocolate bar. You can. Have it fit, be okay with it, or if it doesn't fit, then that's okay too. Like if you're someone that tracks macros or not, tell yourself I'm going to plan that week that I'm going to go out, I'm going to have dessert, and be mentally okay with it, because that's where people make the mistakes of not mentally being okay with it, and then they beat themselves down, they have guilt, which then can lead to more binge type behaviors or just feelings of poor self-esteem. Like beat yourself up because you eat a cookie, like fuck that. You should be able to eat a cookie and be okay with it. So yeah, I guess that's my answer to that question. I hope that helps. And last question, any tips for getting coworkers to understand that you can't partake in potlucks? Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit easier for me because I work at a hospital where everyone knows I'm a registered dietitian. So a lot of people just assume that you're a dietitian, you don't eat, right? Like everyone looks at me like, oh, she doesn't eat, she's a dietitian. No, it doesn't work like that. Dietitians, we can frickin' slam some food. So what I normally do is, like for a potluck type situation, I bring my own stuff. I join in the festivities, but I bring things that I know are healthy or something that I would want to indulge in, and I might bring a couple things. I might bring an entree, and then I might bring some veggies and fruit or something like that. And yeah, I might look like a dick that I'm only eating my own food, but again, who cares? And if you're spending that time watching what I'm eating, then you have your own issues going on. You know what I mean? Again, advocate for yourself and do what's best for you in that situation. Also for me prepping, it's different. I let people know at work, what's up? I'm like, y'all, I'm in prep right now. Get that food out my face, Like don't come to me. And I used to have someone put cookies and biscotti things on my desk and try to sabotage me. And I don't have a lot of that anymore. I'm very fortunate at work that the people I work with are very supportive of me. They get excited for me to prep and like help support me. So I am very, very lucky in that department, especially since I work in food. I supervise a kitchen with food every day, with smells every day. We change new food items on the menu. I'm supposed to try it to know if it's good. So I just make it known with my coworkers what my goals are and what I'm doing and why it's important to me. Some are going to support you and some aren't. And for the people that don't support you, odds are they're either jealous or they're ignorant and don't understand what you're doing and why. And there's plenty of those people out there that don't understand the fitness goals because it's not a priority themselves. So you're not going to be able to change everyone and change their views of it. So you just kind of have to accept it. Like, they don't get it, that's cool, and don't let it impact you in a negative way. Again, advocate for yourself and just know that you're doing it for you, and be prepared anytime you're going to work or these potluck events that you have what you need on hand so you're not more easily derailed to make a bad choice, to fall into that pattern. So I think that's it. Hope that helps. Simple question, I think. I don't know if I've answered this one before, but it's in regards to measuring out your food. This is a common question. They're just asking how you measure out items like vegetables, dry items like rice or oatmeal, or even meats. Do you measure pre-cooked or cooked? Are the macros on the box of rice or oatmeal for the cooked or dry? How do you measure out a cup of broccoli or spinach? So people do this very differently, and the first thing I will say is whatever you do, do it consistently. Do it across the board consistently for everything. I myself, the way I was taught, I guess, and how I've always done it, is I weigh things pre-cooked. So if we're cooking up a bunch of chicken, I will weigh it all raw and have the total weight. And after I cook it all, again, reweigh it and use that to kind of measure out how many portions. I usually do a standard 4-ounce portion for protein, so it's pretty easy for me to kind of like divide by how many portions are there. Same with rice or oats. You need to look at the box. It usually tells you whether it's cooked or not cooked. It usually does specify, but I will say the majority of the the majority of the time it is pre-cooked. It is that dry weight. So for oats, for example, you'll see a half a cup serving is 40 grams. You should measure it dry 40 grams, and that's going to give you the most accurate reflection of the nutrition profile that's there. With vegetables, I usually do, well, that depends. I guess I'm a hypocrite now because like with broccoli, it depends. If I'm doing one of those like steam fresh bags that you just cook in the microwave, I usually measure it out after it comes out of the microwave, but that's easy because it tells you how many servings are in there and how many grams it weighs. So, you know, however you guys want to do it, I try to do it consistently, especially for protein. I do it raw and with grains and things like that. You can do it both ways though. Just make sure, like if you're entering it into a tracker program, you're picking things that actually specify whether it's cooked or uncooked. I find grams to be more accurate if you can do it versus grams. If you're doing a half a cup of oats and measuring it in a half a cup, you're gonna get a hell of a lot more than if you measure out 40 grams of that bitch. I've learned that before. So just measure as precisely and accurately as you can and you'll be fine. So I think we're gonna end this video here. I hope it was helpful for you guys to answer some questions, and hopefully it helps some other people who maybe have the same questions. If you guys want to continue to send me emails, totally cool. What I will say though is if you can keep it like concise, just like a general question, like telling me your height, your weight, your macros, unless you're hiring me for coaching, I'm not really going to be able to best guide you at this time or have enough time to put in a good response. And for me, being a registered practitioner, I do feel like it's not ethical for me to just give little short responses. So for those of you that have general questions that may help others, you can shoot me an email and I'll keep doing more of these videos when I'm able to. So if you guys found this helpful, hit that little like button. Keep checking back for more. Alright, workout is complete and I am tired as fuck. Danica kicked my ass. Kicked my booty, which is good. I've got some great information now to work with for the next 3 weeks in terms of my posing and my workouts and where I need to go the next 3 weeks. So it's 1 o'clock. I'm still fasted, so I'm freaking hungry. So my beautiful coach made me some breakfast. So we're gonna jam on that. There's shredded Jesus back there. You got in a little workout.